Hello and good. What is that sunlight? Why do I have a beam of sun on my face? Good morning, everyone. I am Jeff Blankenburg, and you're on my channel, and we are here to do some very cool stuff today. Normally, when you join me here, oh my goodness, that's gotta stop. I have like these blackout shades that are on this window right here next to me. Good morning, Gold Zulu. A special thank you. Good morning to you. Maybe that's good. Okay, so there's a window here right next to me, and I have blackout shades on the top half of it, so I don't have all this sunlight kind of beating in on my face. And yeah, it started to peel there a little bit, and so I had this little beam of sun like right on my forehead. Good morning, Jeff Nunn. So for those of you that are early birds, Taylor and Code is here. Jenny Mara's here. My goodness, we got a good crew this morning. For those of you that got here early, I have a special treat for everyone. We are going to do something pretty cool. Now, I need to preface this by saying that I have in my possession a brand new set of Echo frames in the box. Have not opened them, have not done anything with them yet, but I wish I could say that I got these myself. I went on the list just like everybody else. I don't have any special privileges at Amazon to get devices of any kind. For reInvent last year, I did a session where I had the Echo Loop, I had the Echo frames, and I had some Echo Buds of my own. And the Echo frames and the Echo Loop were expected to be returned back to the product team immediately after the presentation. So I did not get to keep them as much as I would have really liked to. So I got on the list like everybody else could, and waited and waited and waited for my invitation to purchase a pair. And it still hasn't come. I still have not been invited to make a purchase or to get a set of Echo frames. But our good friend here in the chat, Gold Zulu, got an invitation. Now here's where it gets weird. He got an invitation, but they don't ship to the UK. And I didn't get an invitation, but I'm in the United States. So we talked, and that is how I have come into the possession of a set of Echo frames. So a huge, huge thank you to Gold Zulu for coordinating this and placing the order and trusting me to get this done. And yeah, so here we are. So with that, I thought it might be time to take these out of the box. So we've got a nice sleeve here that comes off. We've got this is a nice kind of premium feel box. You can see that it kind of like cuts at an angle there, and when you open it, there are your frames. So very, very cool that they're just sitting there waiting for you. I'm assuming everything else is kind of underneath. Oh, also, I don't know if you can see that in the box, but it says by invitation in the box. That's pretty cool. All right, so I gotta clear my desk off here. I've got too much stuff. So we've got the glasses. I'll just put those on my face, but we're gonna have to do some things. Oh, those don't look terrible on me. I'll look for comments in the chat though. What do you guys think? I was thinking about trying to maybe these are just clear lenses. They're not prescription lenses, obviously. But I'm thinking about trying to maybe get the lenses replaced with something that's just anti-glare, anti-reflection. Obviously, you can see the studio lights that I have here in front of me in the reflection. I have a pair of glasses that I use for some of my work, just for sitting at a computer. But I don't know. These don't look terrible on me. I could do something like this. I would want to get different lenses though that don't have that shiny coating. So you can see they're on the side. They've got kind of a thicker arm to them, but they're kind of cool. So you can see that's what the arms look like. They're a little bit thicker if you look from the top, but that's not super obvious when I'm just wearing them. They just look like arms. And then underneath, if I block my face, maybe we can get this. Sometimes we can get it to focus on things other than my face. Come on. Here, I'll just step out of frame maybe. Focus, please. There we go. So you can see that there's a little charging port there on the bottom and a couple of buttons. And then on this side, there's nothing. It's just more battery, I think. So we'll put those on. And let's get right into what's going inside. So I took this white plate off that has it, and you can see that we have inside here we have a case and a little thing, and right below it, again in that like black on black printing, it says somewhere, I just saw it. Where did it go? Oh, it's kind of hidden by the envelope. Ooh. I just dropped the case. What I was trying to show, and I guess I could just pull this envelope out, or not, is it just says "Let's get started" on top of it. So in there I have a user guide. I have some setup instructions. I'm going to take this nice fancy box, because I don't think I need that anymore. And we'll kind of close that up and move it off to the side here, maybe. There we go. Okay, so nice box. I'm going to put this over here for now. And let's get into things you need to get started. So, fully charge your Echo frames. Well, that's not something I did prior to this. Oh, wow, this is a nice box. Okay, so you've got this nice kind of branded Alexa, or not Alexa, Amazon case. I don't know why it won't focus for me. Come on, there we go. So we've got a nice branded Amazon eyeglasses case, and let's see, I have there's this little black plastic thing that was in the case, and on top it says cleaning cloth. If I get my face out of the way, it says cleaning cloth, but I'm not sure what I guess I opened this little envelope. Okay, so there was a cleaning cloth mounted. Oh, I see, that comes off. Okay, so the cleaning cloth was covering the top of the case, and then inside there I have this little plastic case that has the charger and the charging cable. So we'll pull those out. And then I don't know what I would do with this little plastic case. I think this is probably meant to be garbage. So then I have a charging cable. Ooh, that's interesting. So just a standard USB tip end for one end, but then the other end, ooh, it's magnetic too. Let's see if I can get this in a way where it's not sticking to something. I'm going to step out of camera just because it's easier to focus on other things. But you can see that that's kind of what the tip looks like. It's just those 4 pins that are pointing out, and then it's magnetic. So I think when you attach this to the glasses, it just goes like that and attaches magnetically, and it's pretty strong. I don't want to drop these, but pretty strong magnet. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, so I have a charger. It seems like maybe I need to charge these up. So maybe we'll do that, and then we can finish setting them up at the end of the stream. I don't know. I don't know how this will work. I hadn't considered that they wouldn't be charged, and I don't actually know that they're not charged. It just says to charge them. So it's kind of this is an odd cable. It's fabric. It's not your standard kind of rubberized. This is a more premium feel to this cable. I mean, it's still just a charging cable, but let's attach this end here. Maybe I can do this while I have them on my face. I don't know if they're designed to wear and charge at the same time, but we're going to try that. There we go. So we're charging. Yeah, so you can charge them while you're wearing them, I guess, if you really need to. The cable's just about long enough, I think. If you had like a battery or something in your pocket, you could probably plug them into that. Karthik is asking if I see anything on the glass. It does not appear. No, they're just clear glass frames. There's no words. There's no imprinting. There are some numbers on the side of the left arm. I think those are meant to indicate the size of the lenses for an optometrist or a lens manufacturer. On the inside of the right side, they have their FCC ID, the model number, a little QR code, and the words Echo Frames. But okay, so I got a light. So we have a blinky light. Let's see. Fully charge Echo Frames. Download the Alexa app. Let's just try this. Let's just try pairing it and see what happens. So let's go to the Alexa app on my phone, just because I really want to try these. Even the ones that I had to demo for reInvent back in November, I never got them working because it was only available on Android. I actually ordered myself a really inexpensive Android phone, but I still could just never get them set up. So I never actually got to use them, even though I was talking about their merits and what they could do. I hadn't physically used a pair, although I certainly understood exactly how they work. So let's see. It says download the Amazon app, and then it wants me to go to complete the in-app setup. So I need to do devices. I need to add a device. And I'm going to choose Amazon Echo. And then in this list, in this list, if I hide my face, maybe, you can see that Echo Frames is there third from the bottom. And so I'm just going to tap Echo Frames. Turn on Echo Frames. Press and hold the action button. Which one is the action button? Oh, perfect. It just told me what the action button is. So I'm going to hold that until the status light blinks red and blue. Okay. Holding the light, or the button down. Holding it a while. The device just said, let's get started. But I wonder if I just happened to turn them on. I'm going to unhold the button. I'm going to try this again. So the light is green now. Oh, I see. There's other lights on these that I didn't even see. If you look inside the frame, can you see how there's a red and blue light blinking there? There's a light on the top of each lens. That's a very interesting place to put something like that. But, all right, I'm blinking red and blue. Let's continue. Echo Frames, got them. Continue. Continue. It's still blinking red and blue, so that's a good sign. It's brought up the list of accessories that it's able to find right now, and all it's finding is an Amazon tap that I have. It said it could take a few minutes for it to find it, or for it to appear on the list, so I'm just going to wait patiently. There they are. That was perfect that I had that on camera. Okay, so Echo Frames 0492. Please. Continue. Oh, to explore what your frames can do, put them on now. Okay. Okay, I have my glasses on. Oh, Jeff Nunn, I didn't start it. Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I have the volume turned up all the way. That actually sounds really good. Here, I'll put them by the glow.
Now you're ready to go. Welcome to Echo Frames. Now that your frames are paired, let's learn a little bit about them. Your Echo Frames have
Can you guys hear that?
open-ear technology. It directs sound towards your ears, letting you listen to audio without headphones and allowing you to engage with the world. The volume controls are located. Here's how to accept and reject phone calls from your Echo Frames. This is the touchpad. Swipe in either direction to accept a call. Tap to reject or hang up.
Wow.
Here's how to
Okay.
accept. Access Alexa on your Echo Frames whenever you want, or turn the microphones off for added privacy. To turn the microphones off, press the action button. Mic off. The status light will red. Alexa will respond when you ask her a question. Mic on. To turn the microphones back on, just press the action button twice again. Mic muted. Mic on. The status light will. Mic on.
All right, I think we're there. So let me mute this device. That's the one that has like the timer set up on my clock and stuff. But let's try. Ooh, those are a little crooked now. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:14 a.m.
It is 10:14 a.m. Good job. I mean, this sounds really good. Just dropped everything. It's fine. I'm gonna also ask it about my Star Wars skill. Let's try some custom skill that I've built. Alexa, open unofficial Star Wars databank. tell me about Chewbacca.
You asked me about Chewbacca. Legendary Wookiee warrior and Han Solo's co-pilot aboard the Millennium Falcon, Chewbacca was part of a core group of rebels who restored freedom to the galaxy. Known for his short temper and accuracy with a bowcaster, Chewie also has a big heart and is unwavering in his loyalty to his friends. He has stuck with Han through years of turmoil that have changed both the galaxy and their lives. Is there something else you would like to know?
No.
Is there something else you would like to know?
Stop.
You asked me for the trailer to Undefined.
Alexa.
But I don't think that's the name of a movie or television show from the Star Wars
Alexa.
universe. Is there something else you would like to know?
Quit. Okay. So there you have it. So I think what will be pretty cool is I'm going to keep these on. Yeah, that's just my code. That has nothing to do with the glasses, thankfully. I don't wear a pair of glasses very well. They just look crooked on my face. I think we're going to keep these on for the duration of the stream. I'll keep charging them, or maybe I won't keep charging them, and we'll just see how much battery I get out of these. Because that's another thing I'm curious about is, can I wear these all day? I imagine, let's say I was a little more metropolitan and I lived in a big city. Could I go out for the day and have these on all day and be able to talk to my personal assistant whenever I'd like? Because that would be pretty awesome. I don't know what the battery life is on these, and I don't think they've necessarily indicated that. Oh, take me to your optician. Oh, okay. Nice. So they recommend that you take this right to your optician, and you can get prescription lenses or whatever. Interesting. And they want me to take this card so that they know exactly what's going on. It gives all of, like, the specifics on what you can do with the glasses, where you can apply heat and all that kind of stuff. That's pretty handy. And then there's a user guide, which I haven't even opened yet, but we're already using the glasses. And this is just pretty standard stuff. You're not going to believe it, but these are not waterproof. So I should not wear these in the ocean, I guess, or something like that. But I would think that would be understood. Are you going to tell me how long the battery life is? I'd love to know the answer to that question. Designed to protect your... Great. Awesome. Ooh, let's try some music. Alexa, play my music.
Shuffling your music on Amazon Music.
Alexa, next. I mean, it feels like I have headphones in. That's kind of loud for walking around, but I could kick it down to... Oh, this might be the new way that I work. I'm not kidding. Like, as an Alexa developer, something that I spend a lot of time and frustration on is the fact that I want to listen to music while I work. But while I'm working, I'm also talking to devices all the time. And so I constantly have to turn the music off or stop, and I find myself I end up working in silence a lot, but this could solve that, right? Because I'm rocking out to my music right now, like working, getting my stuff done. And I could say, Alexa, open Chatsino. Alexa. Oh, it's not listening to me. Alexa, open Chatsino. Maybe. Alexa. It's like it's not. I shouldn't have to hit the button. I thought I could just talk out. Alexa. It's not listening to me. Open Chatsino. Alexa, stop. Alexa, open Chatsino. So it stopped the music, no problem. Very curious. feels like this should be working. I've got it stopped, but if I do this, open Chatsino. Did I turn them off somehow? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we're connected. 60% battery. Alexa. Alexa. I feel like I should hear a beep or something. Open Chatsino. Oh, we're having internet connectivity issues. Okay. Let's try that again. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, open Chatsino. It really sounds like it's hearing me. Yeah, it's having network issues sometimes. Alexa, tell me a joke. Why did the apple get sent to jail? He was rotten to the core. All right. That's a terrible joke. Let's see, what else can we do? Alexa, ask Games back about the Indians. One game back. No. Okay, so that worked. Alexa, open Chatsino. Maybe it's just an issue with my skill. Again, the skill's not really in a working state, but it should be able to open. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's the extent of what I can play with and demonstrate. I made a big mess here on my desk, so that's fun. Let's take the case. And those, I thought those things came inside. Maybe they came on top. That'd be really nice if those fit inside the case, but they do not. Well, there's a little product packaging tutorial. Like, I have the user guide and the optometrist stuff. It would be super handy for that to fit inside, so I could fit inside the glasses case, but it doesn't fit inside the glasses case. Well, that's a little disappointing. Not the end of the world, but a little disappointing. I got a nice cleaning cloth. Does it have a? Everything else has had a nice Amazon logo on it. This does. So if we do that, you can see at the very bottom, maybe. Hide my face. Focus on the thing I'm showing you. It's, oh, wrong side. Down there at the very bottom corner, there's a little Amazon smile at the bottom. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Jamie Wright, I'm glad to hear that you changed your wake word just so you can listen in. I appreciate the fact that you're tuning in at all, but I think we've got our glasses working. So I really do believe this is going to fundamentally change how I think about writing Alexa skills, because I can have, God, I just feel like they're always crooked on my face. I think this is going to change how I think about writing skills, because if I can play my music and develop on the same device, although I'll eat the battery, but while I'm debugging, I can just go like, and we're charging. Are we charging? No, missed it entirely. But I could just leave them on and leave them charging like this. This isn't even touching my face, and I have what some would refer to as a fat face. So that's pretty okay. I can live with that. What do you guys think? Is this something you would use? I feel like if I got some good anti-glare lenses, I could see myself wearing these a lot. I don't look terrible in them. I am realizing just how big my forehead is. Goodness, let's bring that hairline down a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty excited about these. These are cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the official unboxing. It took us 25 minutes, but we got there. We did it. I'm proud of us. And now it is time. They are comfortable, Sarah. They are. I think they feel like any other pair of glasses. I have. Let's see if I can grab these. I think because they're solid frame, they're even more comfortable than the glasses that I normally wear. If we look at here, I'll pull out my regular glasses. These are filthy. They're like 2 years old. I don't wear glasses that often, so these are the glasses I normally wear, and I definitely get some pressure here during the day, and I've tried loosening things up, and then you have these little pads on your nose, and those stick with me for hours after I stop wearing the glasses. So these are the glasses that I wear when I wear glasses, which is pretty rarely, but it definitely does, especially when I'm writing code or sitting in front of a screen a lot. It does make a difference. Like, it crisps everything up just a little bit, but normally I don't need glasses to see. But I could dig these. I could see me rocking these once in a while. I don't think that I would wear them out. Like, people don't know me as a glasses wearer, so I think it would be weird if all of a sudden I just started wearing glasses everywhere. But that's what, like, Echo Buds and other things are for. But I don't know. These are pretty cool. I wish they came in other colors. I like unique stuff, and black's cool, right? But I feel like yeah. All right. Anyway, we are. By the way, Jeff Nunn, I know you tried to hit the casino a little bit earlier. It is open now. So for any of you that don't know, if you're in the chat, which I can do right here, there is a casino available in this chat room. And if you'd like to play it, you earn a coin every single time you post a message in chat. So if you just do something like Poker 5, you'll see as I just posted there, it'll deal me some cards, and look at that, I got a pair of queens, and so I just won 5 coins. So you can check your balance, BALANCE, and it'll let you see how many coins that you have, and you earn a coin every single time that you post a message in chat, and that includes the messages that you post to play the casino. So it's a way to earn some more money and gamble. And we have a number of people here right now that are tuned in, but oftentimes on these streams, you'll just see the casino kind of rolling. People are playing poker, and they're playing. There's also a slot machine if you prefer slots. What did I do? Like that. And there you go. So that's how that thing works. Sarah has 120 coins. Nice. Create My Voice has just 100, so you must have just gotten here. But yeah, that's how that thing works. And then we also have roulette. You have to add an extra thing to that. So you say roulette 5, like red, and it'll let you bet on red, and you can spin the wheel, and it'll tell you what the outcome was. So all of that is there and ready to go. And with that, I think I'm going to get back to writing some software, and we're going to figure out why my skill wasn't responding, because that's a good first thing to know. All right, so let's do that. Let's get over into what's the best way for me to do this. I think I just want to go to the dev portal. I think that's where we're going to do it. So we'll go to this view, and then we'll go to developer.amazon.com, and we'll dive into writing some software. So the thing that I'm really working on is building a casino-based Alexa skill. And you see the casino kind of functionality here on the stream, right? That's what's going on in the chat room. So you can play any of those games and gamble your money. Just as a warning, if you don't provide a bet in any of those wagers, if you just say like !poker, it will just bet half of your coins. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to bet half your coins, you'll want to make sure you specify a bet. So here in my interaction model, I think this is where I'm going to start, just because there's some tools here that I don't have available to me on the command line. So I think I might just tweak up my intents and everything here, and then I'll copy them down to my command line stuff when I'm ready to do the back end bit of this. But when we look at our intents, you can see that in here I have a user account, and I have a start slots, and I have start game. This is what I started doing on Monday, was kind of building out the idea that I'm going to have a start a game of slots intent. And the reason that I'm doing this, because I originally started with a start game intent. Let me blow it up a little bit for you. I originally started with a start game intent. I'll open that up to show you what it looks like. And it was meant to try to be a catch-all. So we would say things like play poker for 5 coins, or bet 5 on roulette, or whatever. But the first thing that I noticed as I started building this stuff was that roulette has a different set of rules. Craps will have a different set of rules. Blackjack will have a different set of rules. And not even just the rules of the games, right? I mean, they're obviously all very different. But how you wager on them, right? I mean, roulette is a perfect example here in the chat room. I can say poker 5, and it knows that I want to play a game of video poker for 5. But if I say roulette and I say roulette 5, it's like, well, where do you want to bet? Because a roulette table requires you to pick a position or multiple positions. And that's another thing that comes into this is, what if I want to make multiple bets? I want to have a bet on red, but I also want to bet on the number 4 and the number 22. And I want to pick the second row. Like, I want to do all of those on the same spin because it increases the opportunity for me to win. So each of those kind of has its own custom thing, but the roulette one was the one that really stood out to me. So as I look at my intents, I'm going to need those kinds of different things. And so one of the things that I thought would be pretty interesting to do is to treat this a lot like unit testing. And that's not something that I've done here yet, I don't think. But if you were to come in here and build an utterance, something like play slots for 5 coins, right? This is me testing my utterance against my model, and you can see here that I would hit the start game intent. It would recognize that my wager is 5, and it would recognize that the game is slots. This doesn't work terribly well for roulette because I don't have a position, so this slot value wouldn't be filled, and it would probably require a decent amount of coding on the back end for me to establish what game they are and what they want to do and how that's all going to work. And I think I can make my life a lot easier. So what we're really talking about is, how do we start the game? There's going to be a lot of common utterances and intents for interacting with a game. A lot of yes, no's, and conditional things that we'll have to play with. But for now, I think getting these things to work the way we want them will make a lot of sense. And so this is a one-shot kind of utterance profiler that lets me check what that one utterance will do. But what I want to do is build a whole list of these and have that list kind of identify the things that I want the outcome to be. And then I can use these like unit tests, and I can run this set of tests and say, oh, well, I'm passing or I'm failing these things, and if that means that I need to tweak or continue to add something. So I have one called poker already. Let's take a look at my annotation sets, and let's see what I did with poker, because I don't think I did this for any serious thing. Play poker for 5 coins. Okay, so I now expect this to be something else. I expect this to be the... this charging cable is going to annoy me. Tuck that under my laptop a little bit. Okay, we're going to call this the start poker intent. And so I don't need this one, this game poker. And then I need to know that their wager is 5. So that's good. Let's add a couple more. We might say bet 5 on poker. And we expect that to be the start poker intent. So what's cool about this is that I can put things in here that don't exist yet. So for this one, I'm going to say I still want the wager to be 5. We'll do another one that is play 5 coins on poker. And we'll do the same thing. Start poker intent. Good morning, Lily Hazel. Welcome, welcome. So we'll call this start poker intent again, because I haven't actually created that yet. And we will come in here and say wager should be 5. And we're not really testing Alexa's ability to translate numbers, because I could make this. Let's mix this up a little bit. We'll play 10 coins on poker. That means this wager should be 10. And we'll play poker for 15 coins here. I trust that Alexa can get numbers correct, but that's not really what I'm testing. I just want to make sure that these kinds of requests and these kinds of commands are going to the appropriate place. So I have my annotation set here, and it looks like it. Up here at the top, I want to save this, and then I'm going to go back to annotation sets, and I'm going to create another one called slots, because slots is where we're starting with this, and so we're going to say play slots for 5 coins. And again, we're going to say start slots intent. In here, we're going to say our wager should still be 5. And then we'll do another one. This is something that I didn't test on the poker one, but I'm really focused on slots for now. We'll say play slots for slot with an O, slots for 10. This is going to be the start slots intent. Again, if you have the intents created, it's actually pretty easy to navigate this stuff. And then in here, we're going to say wager is 10. And then we'll do bet. Let's do that. Bet 20 on slots. And I don't want to do it that way. I should always say the words like that. And this is the start slots intent. This will be 20. Okay, so if we save this set also, now what we should be able to do, if I come back into this evaluation tool, is I should be able to say, I want to run the slots set of commands, and I just want to run that to see what happens. Now, I fully expect that this is going to fail, but that's because I have that start game intent sitting there collecting a lot of the kinds of responses that I want. So one of the first actions that I'm going to take once this fails is to go delete that intent because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to be using it just exclusively as let's see what failed here. So I bet 20 on slots. You can see how I expected it to hit the start slots intent, but it actually hit the start game intent. So that's clearly an issue and something that we'll need to remedy. So let's go back to our intents for a moment, and let's take the start game intent, the one that we used before but we don't need anymore, and we're going to delete it. So we're going to delete that intent, and now we're going to run our evaluation again, and we should see that this time we should get a better response. I hope we get a better response. If not, we'll have to make some changes to it and make some modifications. But the idea here is that we can use these natural language understanding evaluators to build a set of tests for us. So let's think through what are all the things we want a user to say or how they'll say it, and then make sure that our interaction model is actually solving that problem. So this still, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't rebuild. Let's do that. So one of the things that I forgot right here is that when you remove an intent, which you can see my start game intent is gone, but what I didn't do is save and build my model. So before I do that, let's look at the start slots intent and just see what's in here. So I have, yeah, see, I don't even have the new slot yet. So let's do, let's add some of these in here. Let's do bet wager on slots. Okay, and so wager becomes a slot, and then the wager is actually going to be Amazon.number. That's I'm just looking for any number that they want to wager here. So bet wager on slots. We might also say play slots for wager, like that. They might say play slots for wager coins, right? Play slots for wager credits. I don't know what they're going to call them or how I'll call them, but I want to make sure that I get this stuff right. We might also say bet wager coins on slots. Okay, one of the other things that I really like to do here is if we look at our slot itself, is we can do something like this, which is this slot required to fulfill the intent? Well, realistically, yes, it is. If they say play slots, I can't really do anything for them until I know how much they want to wager. So I can actually make this required. And what I can say then is, okay, how much do you want to wager on slots? And we'll also say slots. Got it. How much do you want to wager? What is your bet on slots? So we've added a couple of speech prompts. These are things that user can that Alexa will say when the user does not provide me with that value. And then what are the things that we might expect a user to say? Well, we expect them to say wager, right? And so we're expecting them to say wager. They might also say wager coins. They might also say wager credits. So that's probably pretty good. And then I don't need to confirm their slot. If you guys haven't played with slot confirmation, this is where basically Alexa will tell the user, okay, I heard you say 10 credits. Is that correct? Right? And it's a confirmation to the user that we're going to say the thing that is very important before we go ahead and do the thing. Now, this might make more sense for like ordering a pizza or something where you want to make sure you got your order exactly right? If you've been at a drive-through, you place your order and then they tell you what they heard back to make sure that it's correct, either through a screen or through their voice. Same idea here. So we have our slot. Now I'm going to save my model and I'm going to build my model. And this takes just a moment. But what this does is reassembles my entire interaction model so that it knows that this new slot exists. It knows that the start game intent that we deleted is gone. That doesn't exist anymore. And now we just need to wait for that build to happen, which I said takes about a minute. And once that minute is over, the quick build is already done. But you can see it's still churning on looking at things like utterance conflicts. This is another useful thing if you haven't spent any time looking at this. If you have anything but a 0 here, it's worthwhile to take a look at this because it's possible that based on your interaction model alone, Alexa has recognized that when someone says something, there's two things that are competing for that opportunity. And that's generally not good practice. You want to make sure that you don't have a lot of conflicts because it's very possible with those conflicts that Alexa could pick the wrong one. So I'm going to run my evaluation for slots again, and hopefully this time it passes. I don't know that it will, but I have a feeling that it should, and we'll see what comes out of this. In the meantime, I'm going to have a little water. Just as a reminder for those of you that are here, the casino is open if you'd like to play, but by no means are you obligated to do so. Okay, come on, let's go. Okay, look at that, and we passed. So with this one, if we open this up, we should see that we got all the things that we expected. So when these utterances are spoken to the device, this is the intent that is selected by Alexa out of my interaction model. This is the slot value that appeared, and these are the values that were passed through as part of those slots. Exactly the values that I was expecting. So that's really exciting because it means that I am more or less supporting what I expect my intent to do. Now I'm going to have other intents, right? Let's think through what a real conversation looks like for playing slots, because this is the simplest of the casino game examples. I say bet 5 on slots, and it comes back and says, oh, you got cherry, cherry, orange. That's a win. You won 15 coins, right? That's the entirety of the experience. And so there isn't really a second turn, a second phase, a second play. But what I will probably do is say, do you want to play again? Do you want to bet 5 more? Or whatever it is. I'll try to get them to repeat their bet. That's the question that I'll ask, but that also means that there will be a yes-no intent. So I'm going to have to be able to handle yeses and nos in a variety of situations because I will have to know what kind of bet they previously made, how that worked, how much the bet was for, what game it was for, and be able to funnel them back to the appropriate intent. Even though they just said yes and I landed in the yes intent, I'm going to need to be able to kick them to the appropriate place to be able to do that. So for now, I think we have what we need for the start slots intent. There's much more I could do if I go back to my intents themselves. There's much more that I could do to give it a richer set of utterances. Actually, I'd be curious. I always love to take feedback from all of you. These are the ones that I wrote initially. Can you think of another way, if you were interacting with my skill and you wanted to play slots, what you might say? Oh, you know what? You just reminded me of one, Gold Zulu. What if I were just to say slots wager? Just something very, not necessarily Englishy, but something that someone might say, right? They're very casual about using the skill, and they just say slots 10, right? Like that should still be enough. Or I guess we could also do things like wager 10 on slots. Or I could even say wager slots, right? Like all of those kinds of things work pretty well. And what you're seeing is that all of my utterances contain the word slots, and that makes it very easy for the user to get to the place they want to go really easily because they're going to use those kinds of words. Now, I will probably have to revisit this at some point, only because my aspirations for this skill aren't to just have one three-reel slot machine. If you've walked through a casino, you've seen that there's dozens, maybe 100 different kinds of slot machines. And do I want to have all the different ones, and how will that work, and how do I write all the logic for that? Because it's pretty easy for me to write a three-reel, one-line slot machine, but some of the more advanced, complicated slot machines that you see out there, there's 20 or 50 lines that you can win on. They all have all these little angular breaks in them. And how do I identify that they win, and what do the reels look like, and how do I spin it? Like there's a lot more to that. So initially, my fun little slot machine just does three reels, one line, and you can see as Gold Zulu did there in the chat, he got orange, cherry, orange, and that's a losing outcome. So I think we have what we need. Unless you guys have any feedback on other ways people might ask for a slots game. Does anyone else have any thoughts on in the chat of how we might also phrase this? Because I'm working out of only my brain, which I never recommend. My brain is a scary place, but it's also it's only one perspective, and so all of you have different ideas and different perspectives on how you might ask a Alexa device to play slots, and I'm curious what you might say. So if you have any feedback or thoughts on that, awesome. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my intents again, and I'm going to go create that start poker intent, because we're going to have to do kind of the same thing. Sudoku is lurking. Start poker intent, and we'll just go ahead and create that. This is going to operate a lot the same way, right? Play poker for wager. And you can see again that I have a slot called wager, and that slot is going to be Amazon.number. And the other thing that I really want to do here is, much like I did with the other one, we're gonna do this the more manual way. I'm going to go into the JSON editor, and if we look at my start slots intent, you can see here that I have my slot that's Amazon number, and then I have some samples. I'm going to take these same samples, and I'm going to bring it down to my start poker intent. So it looks like that. I need a comma right here, and then I think there's some stuff down here at the bottom that I need also. Dialogue. Man, maybe that I thought this would be pretty easy to like copy and paste, but maybe I would be better off. Yeah, that's fine. We'll lose those changes. How many changes did I lose? Start poker intent is in here. It has its slot. Let's just go look at the slot, and we'll just do the same thing that we did before. So slot filling, yes, we definitely want to be able to do this. And okay. How many coins would you like to bet on poker? What is your wager? How much would you like to bet on poker? And then down here, this is where people will say things, and we'll say wager is an obvious one, but they might also say wager coins. They might also say, whoop, wager credits. So all of that looks pretty good. Oh my gosh, I made it to the leaderboard. Look at that. I think that's more because people have been falling off than I've been rising, but it's kind of cool to be on the leaderboard. So I can save that one, and we'll build that one. And so that will give us the ability to start poker games and to start slots games. Now, obviously the logic isn't there. We aren't actually playing any of the games, but what we are doing is building a skill that can effectively handle those kinds of requests. And they're going to funnel those requests to our code. It's just at that point, then I'm going to have to build what we call handlers to be able to handle those situations in which someone has asked for that. I got to tell you, like I'm not even really noticing that I have glasses on. Every once in a while, I notice that like I can see the camera view. Every once in a while, I notice I have glasses on, but in general, I'm not seeing that. But what I am seeing is that it's not. I wonder if when I put the charger on, because I think I've said the name before, Alexa. I think they turned off when they started charging. Let's see if I turn them on. Mr. Smoofy did notice that I have them on. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys notice what's happening on my face. Yeah, these are the Alexa glasses. You'll have to tune in. The first 25 minutes or so of this session was me completely unboxing these and setting them up and whatever, and it was pretty smooth. But yeah, these are the Echo frames. These are not responding to me at all anymore, and I wonder if it's because I'm charging. Okay, let's stop charging then. Yeah, it'll tell me. So let's see. I just turned it on. It looks like you can't use them with charging. 90% already. So we were at 60 and I've been going for, I don't know, 20 minutes and now we're at 90%. That's actually pretty awesome that they can charge that fast. Alexa, tell me a joke. Alexa, tell me a joke. Alexa, tell me a joke. I hit the button accidentally.
How does James Bond like to sleep?
Under covers. Oof. Her jokes are just worse and worse. Okay, so we're going to save. And then we should be able to go back to our intent list. I don't know why it's saying this. Yeah, I'll lose those changes. That's fine. Product page says full charge in 75 minutes. Thank you for that. Is that Chad Green? Is that who I think that is? If it is, welcome, Chad. If it's not, welcome, Taylor and Code. I think that's Chad Green, though. Okay, so let's look at our start poker intent. Let's add some more. I don't know what changes you think I have. I don't have any changes here. Well, Chad, I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you for joining us today. So, bet, wager on poker. And we'll do some of the basic ones, right? Poker, wager, and wager, poker, wager on poker, bet, wager, coins on poker, play poker for wager coins. There's probably more, but I think that's a good start. Save that, build it, and then let's go look at our evaluator for poker that we created. So if I go back here and I say now I want to test the poker ones. Yeah, they are super cool. Alexa, play some music. Alexa, play some music.
Here's Sirius XM. 100,000 public school students.
Alexa, play my music.
Shuffling your music on Amazon Music.
Interesting. Alexa, who am I?
Please unlock your phone and try again.
Interesting. I was wondering why that wasn't working. It said, please unlock your phone for that information. So if somebody picks up my glasses and my phone is locked, it won't give them any of access to my stuff. Alexa, play my music.
Your music on Amazon Music.
No? Alexa, stop. That's interesting. Alexa, stop. It feels like... It feels to me like it has... Let's see if I go to devices. Echo and Alexa. Let's see if I can find Jeff's... Where would these be? I feel like it's kind of forgotten me. Alexa, who am I?
I'm talking to Jeff.
Yeah, you are.
This is Jeff's account.
Okay, so it definitely knows who I am. But so it knows who I am, it knows who I'm talking to. Alexa, play my music on Apple Music.
Apple Music is not supported on this device.
Oh, Apple Music is not supported on this device. That's interesting. That's disappointing too. My family is all on Apple Music. I like Amazon Music. I wonder why that is. There must be some reason why they're not supporting Apple Music on the glasses, but... Alexa, open Spotify.
To play Spotify, open the Spotify app on your phone, then try again.
Okay, so it didn't balk at Spotify. I don't have Spotify, but I have it on my phone. What happens if I just say play music on my phone? Oh. Well, that's even weirder. So, I am playing music off of my phone right now. And it's playing in my ears. Alexa, next. And it's controlling it. That's weird. I wonder why it wouldn't let me do that. Is there maybe an option? Alexa, stop. I just realized I'm going to get some kind of copyright strike for playing music, even if you can barely hear it. Okay, so let's run our evaluation. At least we can get that thing going. I'm trying to figure out why, when I ask for Apple Music, it says no. Alexa, open Apple Music.
Sorry, your device setup won't allow me to launch apps.
Okay. Alexa, play Bare Naked Ladies on Apple Music.
Apple Music is not supported on this device.
Okay, so for some reason Apple Music's not supported on the device, but if I start my Apple Music, then I can say next, which is most of the functionality that I use. I just can't ask for specific songs. But I wonder why. There must be a reason why. This is really good news. Our poker intent passed, so that means that we're doing the right things there. We should also let's build out the. What I need now is to tell my device to ignore Jeff. Yeah, my wife has learned to do that in a fantastic way. She's very good at tuning me out because I'm kind of annoying. Okay, so let's do one more intent. I think, Yeah, we saved all this. This is... yes. So start, we're going to do a start roulette. And this one's going to be a little different. Yes, I know. I don't have any unsaved changes. I don't know why you keep telling me that. Start roulette. Intent. Can I just refresh the page or something? I don't understand why it's freaking out over me losing changes. My stuff's there. Slots, poker. It didn't save my new one, but that's okay. Okay, start, roulette, intent. And now we're going to say bet, wager on position in roulette. Now, wager is an easy one. That's Amazon.number. But I already have a slot defined that is called position. And we need to talk about this because this is a weird one. So if we look at my slot types, I have a slot called position. Oh, Mr. Smoofy says some streams have reply functionality in chat. Well, yesterday they did, and today for Jeff's stream it's not here. I wonder if it's because I was broadcasting on the Alexa channel yesterday and they are partner status. That means that they have, at least for a period of time, averaged over 75 viewers per hour. No. Yeah. Not per hour. I don't know what the time unit is, but it's to average 75 viewers. And so I don't think that's just the number of people that show up for the stream. I think that's over time. So like you can see in the bottom corner, we've been hovering around 14 most of this session. So I will probably end this session with an average of about 14. But I think it could very much be dependent on who the user is, because I am not partner status. And so it's possible that on the Alexa channel you get that functionality, but you don't get that here. There's a lot of weird functionality cases like that. So for my position slot, you can see that I have all the numbers. There's 50 values in here. And it's weird because they are partially words, things like red, black, even, odd, top, bottom, high, middle, low. But then all the numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 36. And then 0, and then double 0. And then we have row 1, row 2, and row 3, which are the horizontal rows on a roulette table. So I have a lot of concern, and we'll figure this out here in a second, that if somebody says bet 5 on 5 or bet 10 on 5, how am I going to be certain that it got the numbers in the right order? That it can differentiate between those two. I guess that's what our tests are for, right? So let's save, and let's go to our interaction model, to our annotation sets. Let's create a new one for roulette. I think this is the best way to really test a lot of this stuff. And we're going to say bet 5 on red in roulette. That's a nice easy one. I'll also say play roulette for, no, they're not really going to say that. They'll say bet 10 on red. Bet 20 on odd. Trade last, that's quite all right, man. If you tune in later, you can watch the first 30 minutes or so of this session, and you can see the big unboxing and everything. It was pretty cool. It was easy to set up. They're working now. If I ask it what time it is, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 11:04 a.m.
11:04 a.m. All right. So we'll say bet 20 on odd. We'll say play 15 on row 2. That'll be an interesting one too. Okay, so now let's tell it what these things should be. which are start roulette intent for each of these. So we'll just drop these in here. These will all hit start roulette intent. And then for this, the wager should be 15. And the position should be row 2. For this one, the wager is 20 and the position is odd. Too much stuff in the way. Okay, we got it. Okay, so then bet 10 on red. This one is going to be a wager of 10 and a position of red. And then this last one is going to be a wager of 5 and a position of red. Okay, now I don't expect these to work yet. So let's save our set. And let's go look at our intent and see what we can do to make all of this stuff work. So bet wager on position, but I shouldn't need to even say roulette, right? I should be able to say bet wager, no, wager on position. I think that should still work. Like, they shouldn't necessarily need to say roulette. Play wager on position. I think that's good. I'm sure there are more ways to say this, but not a lot are coming to my mind. So now we need to do the same thing with wager, where we need this value to be filled. And so what will user to say? Okay. How many coins would you like to wager? What is your wager? How much would you like to bet? And of course, these are lists that you can always grow and expand later. And then what do I expect the user to say? Again, we expect them to say wager, but they might also say wager coins or wager credits. So it'll all look like that, and that looks good for the wager. So that's a good start, but then we also need to go back to my intent, and we need to look at position, because this is a new one that we have just for roulette, but we need to do the same thing. We can't have them make a wager for roulette when they haven't provided us both values. So, okay, where do you want to place your bet? Where should I place your bet on the roulette table? And what position do you want your bet to be placed? On which position do you want your bet to be placed? Okay, so we have those, and then this is always going to be something that is position. You might also have position, please. Place it on position. Put it on position. Okay, so just as a reminder, if you guys haven't played with this dialogue management stuff before, what this gives me is, if the user just says play roulette, it'll say, okay, how much do you want to bet? And they'll say 5, and then it'll say, oh, and where do you want to put that bet? And they'll say red, or I don't know, right? They might say I don't know, and that's fine. We can handle that on our side. But the idea is that if they were to say play roulette for 5, then I would only ask them, like, where do you want to place that 5? But I can't say 5. I don't actually know what they said. So these have to be kind of generic responses because I don't actually get to grab that data that's available. I don't think I can do this. What would even happen here if I do this? I don't even know what happens if I do that. If I try to save and build this, will it even let me do that? That would be something like, that's something I don't expect to be possible, but oh my gosh, if that works, that would be amazing. I could say, where do you want to place your 5 coins? Because I would know what they've already indicated. But then what do I do if they say, play roulette on odd? And I say, well, what's your bet? I wouldn't know how to do that. Yeah. Or if they just say play roulette, and I say, where do you want to place your 5 coins? Except that they didn't give me an indication of how many coins they want to use. So let's get this rolling. We're going to evaluate our model. We're going to look at NLU evaluation. We built a roulette one, right? So let's run our roulette evaluation and see how that goes. By the way, we added a couple new followers yesterday. I haven't looked at the actual ticker here. Actually, I can do that in the chat. I think. Over to the chat, I think I can say. $489. We're 11 away. My goodness. 489. We've kind of like stagnant for a little bit, which is okay. Oh, Jamie follows to give us 490. Jamie, we are actively trying to get ourselves to 500 followers. I made a promise a while back. It's been a couple months. When we got to 250 followers, I did an episode entirely dressed as Bob Ross with the wig and everything. I even started with like a painting and an easel and everything. And I told him if we got to 500, that I would dress entirely as an X-Wing pilot for a stream. And so I have the stuff. I'm ready to go. But we're still now 10 followers away. So tell your friends, tell them to swing by. I would love to dress like an idiot for a day. And yeah, stay on target. That's perfect, Jamie. So yeah, I have the helmet. I have the uniform. We're ready to go. We just need to get there. Okay, my thing failed. So let's take a look at why it failed. Oh. So it got the position, but it brought it back as row 2. And it's also bringing back all of these as lowercase. Mr. Smoofy, if you want to go create 10 more accounts, you can do that. I don't know that it benefits any of us for you to do that, but you could follow 10 more times if you really want to. Bet 20 on odd, and I'm getting the lowercase odd. It's very interesting because my slot values are uppercase, but that's okay. I can deal with that. So let's fix our tests. So we'll go back to our annotation set for roulette, and let's look at these. And we're just going to change this to be Code Palooza with the follow. That is also Chad Green, but I do appreciate it. I'm not going to complain. We're going to change this one to odd. We're going to change this one to red, lowercase. We'll change this one to black, just so we're doing other things. Black. Okay, so let's try this again. Save our annotation set. Go back, run this roulette set again, and let's see what we can do. Because I feel like we're really close. It was just a matter of the values not perfectly matching. Oh, I appreciate it. Well, Tail Learn Code, this is a perfect opportunity to plug some awesome things that you're doing. So why don't you tell people what speakers you're talking about or what kind of event might be coming up that people might be interested in attending, of which I will be a speaker at, and I'm pretty pumped about. So now all of my tests pass, which means when people say things like this, it's going to land in the right intent and grab the right values. I'm going to have to learn how to deal with this, but that's for me to worry about, not for the user. All right. So we have our three intents. This is something that I'm going to have to start writing some code for. So what I'm going to do is come to the JSON editor. I'm going to take this model that we've just constructed, and I'm going to copy it. And we're going to go do code times, because that's what it's time for. And we're going to just paste this in here. And what this is the exact same thing we had, but we have all of this new stuff in here. So one of the things that I can get rid of is that I had a slot for game type. And maybe I'll still keep that, but I'm not using it right now. So you can see I have a game type slot that is blackjack, craps, roulette, slots, poker, or video poker as a synonym. So I'm sure there will be times where I need to do that. So Taylor & Code is talking about Codepalooza, which will be completely online next week. They have 100 plus amazing speakers. I'm glad that I get lumped into that bunch. That's really nice. And you can check them out at codepalooza.com. Great plug. Thank you, Chad. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think that I realized it was next week, but I'm prepared, so I'm not too worried about that. But I'll have to make sure I get my act in order to make sure that everything is ready to go. And Amazon is a sponsor of Codepalooza too, so we're really doubling down on a lot of these virtual conferences. So if you have something cool coming up that I should know about, let me know. I can try and talk with my team about how we can support. There's no promises made here, obviously, but we're really trying to make sure that we support a lot of these virtual events that we would have otherwise been at in person. So, okay, it's 11:15. I have my new model here. I need to do a few things. Where I could say, I think I can just do, we're in the wrong directory, so let's go up. Let's do Chatcino, Alexa, and this is where we are.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I know. That is kind of weird having Alexa just right on your face. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think I can do npm run dev. I think this sets up the BST stuff for me. Yeah. Okay. Then I need to change this. So if you guys haven't used this before, there's a set of tools called Bespoken Tools that allows you to basically set up local debugging. And all I need to do is run their tool, and I actually still have it here, so that's good. And then I set up an HTTPS endpoint where I just drop the URL that they give me, and I set this up as my development endpoint is a subdomain of a domain that has a wildcard certificate. So once that's set up and running, then when you test your skill, you're actually making calls directly to your local machine. So I should be able to come in here and say open Chatcino, and what I'll see down here is this actually playing out. So this is the request that came in, this orange bit here. This is the request that I received, and you can see down here at the bottom that it's a launch request. And then all of this is stuff that I'm doing. And then down here at the bottom, this is the response that came out. And so you can see that it says, welcome to the Chatcino. You've played poker 60% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try. This is all information that I'm pulling from the database, which we're going to be completely gutting how this thing works today. But that is the request that came. That's the response
Welcome
that
to
came
the Chatcino.
Oh, there we go.
You have played poker 60% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
So I think I still have this all set up so I can say things like, well, no, this isn't going to work because I'm expecting the start game intent, and that doesn't exist anymore. So what we really need to do is open up our code and get into, let's see, am I in the right directory? I am. Okay, cool. So I can go into my Lambda function, and we can look at our index. This is where we have our launch request handler and our start game handler. I'm actually going to not delete this. I'm not going to use it, but I'm not going to delete it. And we have my start game intent handler, which is sitting there now. That's a weird commenting. Why didn't it? There we go. It's like, why didn't it turn all green? And down here at the bottom, I want to make sure that I take that out of my list. And instead, what we're going to do is we're going to build a new one. In fact, we won't even use that. We'll just use this. And we'll take this right here. And we're going to call this start/game And so what I'm doing here is I'm checking, is it an intent request? And did they try to start a game of slots? And if they did, then what we're going to do is hand this off to a specific handler. And so you can see that I have a list of handlers in here. I had a start game intent. We're not going to use that. Instead, what we're going to do is create a new file. And this one's going to be called start slots intent. And that means I need to add it to my index file here. So we'll take this and we'll just change it. Slots. And then that goes in 3 places like that. And now we have that part set up. Now we need to actually do something with start slots intent. So I'm going to use the start game intent as a beginner for this. And we'll just take this piece at least and create a new function. So that'll look like that. And then we'll do module.exports equals start game intent. Okay, so that is where we start. We have this start game intent, but the first thing that we need to do if we are start slots intent. Let's make sure we have the right function name. It would actually work based on the way things are structured, but it's better to be good about this. I'm going to need helper, and I'm probably going to need the Chancino, so we'll bring those over. I won't need them right now because I'm just going to stub some things out. That's not what I asked for. Let's do that. Okay, and then what is this index? This needs to be handler dot, where did it go? Start slot handler. Look at that. And the only thing we pass through is handler input. Now, all I'm really doing here, if you've built an Alexa skill before, you may have seen this chunk of code, and all I'm really doing is building kind of a rigging to handle where the intent should go. But then once I've identified, what I actually do is call an entirely separate set of code to manage all this. So that's what's happening here. I have these handler files, and so for my launch request, for example, this is where I pull all the information together and I return my response builder and all the other pieces. So that's how this thing is structured. And for my start slots intent, that's the same thing that I'm doing here. So in here, I need to do some things. And to do that, I want to use a lot of what I've done in start game already. So I know that I have a wager that's coming in. That's the only slot value that I really have. So we're going to start there. And I also have session attributes. I'm sure I will need that. I'm not building anything with it yet, but nearly every interaction that I have with a user and Alexa requires some kind of session data. And so I think for right now, all I'm going to do is if we come to the bottom of this, we can find our return statement. Why do I have that wrapped in parentheses? That's weird. I wonder if that's just a prettier thing. And I'm going to do this. And all I'm going to do, I guess I'll just create a statement that is const speak output you wagered, and this will be wager coins on slots. That's all we're doing for now. We're not actually doing any of the logic to make this work. We just want to be able to respond to the user, and then I'll take this speak output and we'll put it here and we'll put it here. We will get fancier about this as we build out the skill, but for what I want to do now is just make sure that I'm catching all of my cases, and then we can worry about starting to make it actually do the things that we need it to do. So I feel good about this. This calls start slots handler. The start slots intent then just captures what your wager was, tells you that you're playing slots, and responds back to you. So, okay, let's give that a try. If we go to the testing tool and we say bet 5 on slots, what happens?
You just triggered start slots intent.
Oh.
What should we do now?
There's a reason that just happened. You'll remember that I removed start game intent down here, but I didn't add start slots intent. This is the list that it uses to identify the handlers that it should check for validity. And if that isn't in the list, then it won't work. So let's try that again. Bet 5 on slots. like that at all, huh? Did we get an error? We did get an error. What is the error? Start slot's intent is not defined. Did I mistype something? Oh, because it's not start slot's intent. It's the handler for the start slot's intent. I should have seen that when it broke. Okay, so let's try that again. And let's try opening my casino.
Welcome to the Chatsino.
Bet 5 on slots.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
Okay, I can live with simple errors. That's fine. What was our error? We came in, we were an intent request, start slots intent, wager was 5. All of that looks really good. So what was my error? Handler is not defined. What are you talking about? Handler is not. Is it handlers? Is that what it should have been? Handlers. Handler. Look, if I could just look at code highlighting, I would find all of my issues. All of them. Okay, one more time. Bet 5 on slots. Tell me that I'm playing slots for 5.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
This is what happens when you haven't looked at a code base in a little while. So let's take a look. Start slots handler is not a function. I really feel like we solved all of this already. So if I look in handlers, in index, oh my goodness. Intent. Okay. How do you like me now?
You wagered 5 coins on slots. What do you want to play next?
Cool. So the slots thing is working. I'm now hitting the appropriate code. I'm responding with the amount that they wagered. Of course, I wouldn't say just this, right? I would obviously tell them what their outcome was and how it all worked. But let's try saying play slots.
Okay. How much do you want to wager on slots?
10.
You wagered 10 coins on slots. What do you want to play next?
That is awesome. Okay, so let's see if we can knock out those other two pretty quickly here. I have my start slots handler, and what I need to do is build a poker one. So start poker handler, and this is going to be here, the word poker. You can see why initially I was trying to combine these all into one, because it's a lot of like copy and paste for the most part. But then once you get into the game, I think you're going to find pretty quickly that there are differences, and then you end up writing all these if statements to handle that. At least that's what I experienced the first time that I got into this. This is Rev 2 of what we're doing here, so I need to add roulette. Okay. So I think I have the handlers good. We need to come down here and add them to the list. So we'll just add a couple of those, and we'll do, I like to keep them in alphabetical order when they're the same, poker, slots, roulette. This is the only list, the export for Alexa, that I don't keep in alphabetical order. Nearly everything else I do, just because it makes things easier to find. So we have start poker intent, start poker intent, start slots intent, start roulette hand. Okay, all of that looks good. We need to come into index here, and we need to add these files that don't even exist yet. So this will be start poker to stay alphabetical. And this will be roulette. And I noticed the syntax highlighting, but that's because I haven't actually created these files yet. So we'll do that, and then this one will go here. Whoop. Okay, so that part is good, and then we need to take start slots intent pretty much exactly the way that it is. This is a good starter file, and we're just going to save this in the handlers folder. This one's going to be poker. And this will need to be poker. And this will be the word poker, just so we're communicating properly. But this is a good starter set. And then this needs to be poker down here. And then we'll save this again. And this one will be roulette. And just by doing this, we should be able to tell the user exactly what's going on. So in this one, this is going to be the start roulette intent. And that goes down here too. And then roulette. Okay, so that'll work for wagers, but we also have this position that we need to focus on. And I'm not sure... Oh, boy. I feel like I can't just take the words they say. I need to make sure that it's matching an entity. So I'm going to have to do const position equals helper dot get resolved words handler input, and this is going to be position. So I'm telling it basically go get the values that were resolved. Well, Chad, I'm glad you were here too, man. Not only are there the frames, there's also something called the echo loop, which is a ring. And it's a ring you can basically just hold up to your ear. I feel like you're kind of like a spy when you wear it. And you there's a little button on the side, and you push the button, and you can just talk to Alexa right here in your hand. It's pretty awesome, actually. I'm on the invite list for both of those, but I haven't actually received my invitation for either of them. And again, just to remind everybody, I can't thank Gold Zulu enough for making it possible for me to get a pair of these. So really happy with where we've landed. So I need to figure out how to get their position. There shouldn't be a situation, well, yeah, there certainly could be a situation in which they gave me an invalid position, but I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to say position like this, position 0 dot, not O, dot name. Value.name. I'm trying to remember. I think that's right. We'll see. We'll see if I got that right or not. So this should just call out whatever the most likely match for their whatever they said was. But I need to catch the situations in which, let's just add a to-do here. Catch the situations in which they didn't manage to match one of our slot values. That will be something we certainly do need to do at some point. Okay, so I think we're good. This is still running nicely, I believe. Yeah, so we should be able to say bet 5 on poker, and this should just work because it'll just work.
You wagered 5 coins on poker. What do you want to play next?
What do you want to play next? I would like to try a new thing, which is bet 5 on red.
You wagered 5 coins on red roulette. What do you want to play next?
Awesome! So you can see that it was capitalized there. We're going to say on 5 in roulette. Just so we have a little more consistency there. But you wagered 5 coins on red. Now this red, this word red is actually coming from my slot. So that's why it's capitalized. And you can see that here. What I heard Alexa say was red. But what it ended up doing, if I can scroll down here a little bit further, is that it actually matched my list. Remember, I have a list of positions that are available as my slot positions. So this is the match that it made. And what I did was write that I want to grab those resolve values and pick the first one and say, oh, I heard you bet 5 on red. They are ordered in confidence. It doesn't give you a confidence score, but they are rated in confidence. And so it makes sense that I would get the first one. And I'll have to handle those situations where somehow Alexa didn't let that happen. So let's try some of our other side tests, like bet 5 on roulette.
You wagered 5 coins on red roulette. What do you want to play next?
No, I don't like that at all. So let's say stop.
Goodbye.
Okay, now let's open the casino again without having any context or anything like
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played poker 60% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Bet 5 on roulette.
What would you like to do?
Bet 5 on roulette. Boy, it doesn't like that at all. Bet 5 on slots. I think we're probably...
You wagered 5 coins on slots. What do you want to play next? You wagered 5 coins on slots. What do you want to play next?
Interesting. Am I doing something wrong here in the roulette file? I didn't even hit the roulette file that time. Let's take a look at what our input was and how we somehow ended up in the wrong place. The intent request was a start slots intent, even though I said roulette. So our next step in figuring out why that hit the wrong thing is to go look at our interaction model. And if I look at the start roulette game, all of my utterances play. See, I didn't even provide that as even like a near match. So let's add that. We'll say bet wager on roulette. I think that will work, and it should push back. But we're going to have to take this and bring it up to the model again. So let's go to build in a new tab, and let's dump this in here and save it. Save. Are there other things I should be thinking about with roulette? Because it is so odd. This is what I ran into when I first started building the roulette slot. Was it just has different rules, right? And those things can get tricky. So place it on position. No, that's the okay. Bet wager on roulette. I should also have like a play roulette, right? Because that's a perfectly valid request. It just means that I need to get other information, and since I've marked those slots as required, even though I say play roulette, it should still be like, okay, well, what do you want to wager? Okay, where do you want to bet that money? And I'm very curious to see if this will work. The whole piece that we set up that was where did it go? On which position do you want your wager to be placed? I'm very curious if that even works. Man, if it could say that and just pull those values in automatically, I think that would be super cool. Okay, our build is done. Let's go back to testing and see if that doesn't fix it for me. Bet 5 on roulette.
How much would you like to bet?
Well, I said 5.
On which position do you want your 5 to be placed?
Sweet. Black.
You wagered 5 coins on black in roulette.
Did you guys see that?
What do you want to play next?
I know a lot of you just to have this on in the audio or whatever, and you're listening to my beautiful monotone voice, but it happened. The thing that I was hoping happened. On which position do you want your 5 to be placed? It was actually able to recognize that I bet 5, and just by putting that prefix in my dialogue management utterance, it was able to say, oh, well, where do you want to put your 5? So what I want to do now is tweak those a little bit more. Your 5 coins to be placed. I should also probably have chips in a lot of these. No, I don't want to save that. Where should I place your bet of wager coins on the roulette table? Where do you want to place your bet? Yeah, I think those are all good. So let's save and build. This is so cool. I can't even tell you how cool this is. I would not have in my wildest dreams. I'm not sure a lot of people know this is even possible. Please, in the chat, if you are paying attention whatsoever, please let me know. Is this something that you guys knew would happen? Did you know this was possible? I didn't know it was possible. So for roulette, this is the only position where this really matters. Where should I place your bet of 5? Oh my god, that's so cool. Okay. Master Elahi, welcome to the show. Thank you. Oh, I will drink. Thank you for the reminder. Welcome to the club. We've got a bunch of cool stuff going on here. I don't think in my wildest dreams, if you had asked me to place money, we're talking about betting. If you'd asked me to wager on whether or not that was possible, I would have said it. I would have definitely put my money on no. So this is very. That's very exciting. That makes dialogue management a whole lot more powerful for me. Because then I can communicate without having to write the code logic myself. I was worried that I'd have to. Excuse me, the yawns have showed up. I was very worried that I would have to write a bunch of custom logic to respond to these things, but now I can just check a couple boxes, write a couple utterances, and boom, this is handled for me. And this means that my code won't ever be hit until the user has provided a wager and a position for roulette. So that is good. Let's go back to here. What if I just say, stop it. I want to get rid of this too. Okay, so play roulette.
Okay. How many coins would you like to wager?
10.
On which position do you want your 10 coins to be placed?
That's so cool. Black.
You wagered 10 coins on black in roulette. What do you want to play next?
Okay, I'm so excited. So now we're gonna do a. I would think so. If the capability's here for dialogue management, I would think that that's very possible. I want you guys to remember, when it says, in these steps here, if you guys haven't played with dialogue management, I say play roulette to my skill. At the Alexa cloud level, before it's ever reached my code, it says, oh, I don't have a wager. He didn't provide a value for the wager slot. So it uses the sample utterances that I've built into my interaction model to say, how many coins would you like to wager, right? It hasn't hit my code yet. And then they say 10. And I say, oh, what position do you want your 10 coins to be placed? There's something else I want to try here. What if I say play roulette, but it's not until it has the 10 and the position that I actually receive anything in my code. Watch this. If I hit play roulette, you can see that there's...
What is your wager?
There's nothing right here, right? It hasn't provided a response or anything like that yet. So what is my wager? What if I say 10 on red?
You wagered 10 coins on red in roulette.
Okay,
what do you want
so
to play next?
Not only that, it will allow me, when they say, what is your wager? If they say, I want to bet 10 on red, it still works. Oh my gosh. And then when you look at the response that I get, in here is everything that I need, right? Here's the wager slot, here's the value, here's the position, here's the words they said, here's the matching thing that I had. This is amazing. I'm so excited about that. I really would not have expected it to do that. Okay, so let's try this. Alexa, open Chatsino.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played poker 60% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Play roulette.
How much would you like to bet?
20.
Where should I place your bet of 20 coins on the roulette table?
Odd.
You wagered 20 coins on odd and roulette. What do you want to play next?
stop.
Goodbye.
Guys, I have a device on my face. I can't explain to you how cool this is. I didn't have to touch any buttons. I didn't have to play with it. I just start talking and it just works. Ooh, I got a phone call. Here, let's try this. It said swipe to answer, right? Hello? I'm sorry, they're not here right now. I'm sorry, what are you calling about? Oh, I got it. Oh, all right. Yeah, no thank you. All right. I knew it was a spammer, but I figured it was worth trying to answer a phone call, and he's trying to sell me different electric service. Super cool. Okay. So, man, this is exciting. So Mr. Smoofy asks, how do I get a set of these glasses? So if we go to Amazon.com, I don't think I'm going to be able to show it because I'm still waiting for my invitation. By the way, if you guys can get an Echo Flex, highly, highly recommended. They're such a cool little device, and they're on sale right now for $15. It comes with a plug in the back. I think I have. Oh, I had a couple of them. This is an Echo Flex. Here, look, let's go camera time. This is an Echo Flex. This is how big it is. It's kind of small. It has a USB port on the bottom. You can use it to charge your phone or whatever with a cable. But it comes with some accessories. So one of the things that I got for it is the motion sensor. And so it just attaches like that. Now I have a motion sensor on this. What's cool about this, though, is I can set that motion sensor up to trigger a routine. And so what I actually do here in my office is I have this plugged in, and when I walk into the room, everything kicks on, right? Not all the nonsense behind me, but like the lights and things that I need. So I just have this motion sensor that like turns my office on. The thing that it doesn't do, of course, is turn the lights off. I wouldn't want that to happen, but the motion sensor is pretty cool. But there's two other accessories that I've seen for it. One is a night light, and so you plug these in like in your hallway in your house for $15. And then you have night lights around, but they're also a full Alexa device. They're not awesome for sound, but they're good. They're good enough. And I thought I saw another one that like there was another one that just has like a little digital clock here at the bottom. I haven't been able to find that online, but I think that's a thing too. So anyway, that's the Echo Flex. I really like having one of these. Plug that back in. Okay, so I just have a couple of minutes left. We're only at like 12 left. Let's jump back to my browser and we'll talk about this. So if I do Echo Frames, and you can do the same if you want to follow along. The Echo Frames are right here. They're 179. Somebody said 150, I thought, but they're 179. And you can see they say only available by invitation. Now, right here, there was a button that said, I would like my invitation. And you could click on that button, and then you'll get this. And it says, not all requests will be granted. This product has limited quantities available. I'm hoping that they're starting to roll these out more, though, and I'm really happy to see that Gold Zulu got an invitation. But this is where you would go to do that. And the same is true for the Echo Loop, which I'm pretty sure I'm also on the invite list for. Yeah, I have made my invitation for that. So that's what the ring looks like. You can see it there on that man's hand. I have worn one. It fits very nicely. I will tell you, I have generally thicker fingers, I guess. I don't consider my fingers fat. I've seen many men that have bigger fingers than me. But on my hand, I wear an extra large ring. All the others were too small. If I want to wear it on my ring finger, I guess. If I wore it like on a pinky, I could go down to a large, and I couldn't even get it on my middle finger. So just something to keep in mind. The sizing's a little weird. They do have a measuring thing in here somewhere where you can check your size, but I felt like the sizing was a little odd. I don't consider myself to have the biggest, like, my hands aren't small, but I don't feel like I have the biggest, fattest fingers in the world. And it was weird that I could only fit into the largest one, and even that was, it wasn't loose, I guess is what I'm saying. So something to think about. But that is, those are the two devices that I'm really excited about. I don't know that I would wear both, but I'm really enjoying these glasses. I'm going to try and wear these all day today and see how it goes. All right, I've got 10 minutes left. I think we've made really good progress. I don't know that I want to take that much further today because I have an appointment at 1 o'clock, which is an hour from now, and I need to still get lunch. So I'm gonna wrap things up here by grabbing my interaction model and bringing it back down here, just so I have the latest in my code. And then I think we're probably good. TradeLast says I'm not getting the sale price quoted on Amazon.com for the Echo Flex. That's interesting. If I go back to the Amazon tab, you're not. If maybe it's for Prime people. I don't know. With promo code limited time offer. Let's see if I can share a promo code. I agree with you. Oh, you have to use the code EchoFlex10. Codes cannot be shared. I don't know what that means. That can't be a unique code to me. So maybe when you add it to your cart and try to enter a discount code, see if EchoFlex10 works. There's no way that can be a unique code for me. So give that a try and see what you get. It may be that they've only assigned it to certain people. I don't know how or why that code has been provided to me. I don't have any special privileges. Yeah. Anyway, TradeLast, let me know if that works out for you. Otherwise, I am going to put a bow on today. We made some really good progress. We got to play with some glasses. If I have an opportunity to get a Echo Loop, I certainly will. But for now, I think I'm gonna actually, let's do one more thing just as a reminder that this happens. I'm gonna open up my GitHub and I'm gonna go to Chatsino Alexa somewhere, maybe. Did I not set up a GitHub for that? I guess I didn't. Let's create a new repository. I thought that I had done that. Chatsino Alexa. And that's all good. Give me a readme. Node. And create repository. And then we got to go through and knock a couple things out of that initial commit that it's going to do for me. That's weird. I really thought I already had a repo for that. Okay, so in here, let's look at our initial commit and see if we have any files that we don't want to have committed here, which I'm sure there are a few of them. This is a good one. Ignore. If we come in here, there's a couple of ones that have like identity stuff in them, so I want to make sure I'm eliminating those. Cashier, none of those. Come on, where are you? I didn't even see it. It would be in the Lambda root. No, it would be in the Chatsino root. There's index. What? Don't these files exist? I thought they did. If I come into Chatsino, where are all the... Okay, I'm going to jump off of camera just here for a second. Or onto camera, I guess. I guess it's just that. So let's make sure that my .env file isn't used. So if we come back here, I didn't even see the .env file. Probably because it is already excluded. Okay, so we'll commit this to master and publish that up. Keep it private? No. Okay, so all of the source code for this thing is being pushed up. You'll see a number of Chatsino-related repositories for me, and that's because I'm building a separate application for Slack and for Twitch and for Discord and for Alexa, and then there will be the core like Chatsino functionality. So there's a number of repositories up there, and there's a lot of repeated code, and it's all in kind of a disaster state right now. But we're getting to the point now where we're making good headway towards at least getting the Alexa skill built. And if I can do that in such a way that I'm not like interlinking the casino logic with the Alexa skill, I think we'll be in good shape. So, with that, me and my new glasses are going to sign off for today. I'll be back again here on Friday morning, and I'm actively working towards finding a way to get on here every day. So we'll see how quickly we can make that happen. I'll of course update you and let you guys know before it happens. But for now, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a fantastic day. Lots of great questions and interaction. Love doing this stuff. So thank you guys. See you Friday.